All right, let's go to Errol Barnett, who is also joining us on the telephone. He's in Brooklyn. So, Errol, we were saying, as much as we love you, we thought, well, we can report what we felt the same way that Errol can report, because you're just in Brooklyn. Were you at home? Were you outdoors? Where were you when this happened?
Yeah, this is interesting, Vlad and Anne-Marie. This is the type of earthquake that has a lot of people saying the same kind of expression. What the heck was that? And so while, yes, I felt the earthquake while at home here in Brooklyn, my wife actually, I was in the home office. She was working from the living room, ran into me and said, what the heck was that? Did you feel that? And I've listened to both of you kind of describe it as, well, geez, at a 4.8 magnitude, which is this preliminary level the USGS now is saying was the strength, it almost feels like heavy traffic moving right next to you. And, you know, we're in a populated part of Brooklyn, so I dismissed it. But when she ran in, she said, I felt the room shake, the couch is moving all over the place, and for her, it was a lamp on the table. She said, and I could see the lamp moving back and forth. As I was running out to join you live, I'm at the Brooklyn Bridge at the moment. If you guys see the live shot, perhaps you'll be able to see where I am. But it is very much life as normal with tourists here. I was speaking with the concierge of my building, and she was kind of giddy and giggling and speaking about how she was questioning how long it would last. So it's the type of thing that I don't think frightened people, but it was strong enough to be felt throughout Brooklyn. You guys have mentioned our colleague saying they felt it as far as Pennsylvania. Some people in New Hampshire that felt this quake. So for many people here in Brooklyn, it just was a surprise. Everyone's asking, what the heck was that? And quakes do happen in this region of the country, just not very frequently. So I felt it. We all felt the world move for a moment, but, you know, tourists are still walking around Brooklyn Bridge Park, and life is certainly continuing as normal. But a bit of a blip, and what the heck was that?
Well, I think one of the things that's interesting, because what we're going to hear over the next, 12 to 24 hours is everybody talking about where they were and what they felt, right? But I suspect, and I was just texting with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law who live out in the Bay Area in California, and if you are in a part of the country where aftershocks or small earthquakes are commonplace, everybody, it's a normal thing. It's a normal part of life. In New York City, although it's not common, it's not unprecedented to have earthquakes. I mean, Chris Van Cleve mentioned the earthquake that some experienced a few years back in Washington, D.C. So I think why the New York media here, us at CBS News, we're talking about it, even though so far there's been no damage reported other than delays in transportation, everything seems to be okay. It's that we're not used to this. This is not common. So even for some of us who have experienced real earthquakes, even I, for the first 10 seconds, I was looking at you like, what is that? What is that? And then all of a sudden, when it kept going, I was like, my first thought was, it's some kind of a truck. My second thought was, there's some kind of nefarious act happening. I did think for a second, there's something going on that's not normal. And then within 10 or 12 seconds, I thought, this is an earthquake. And then I was like, my flight or fight kicked in, and I was like, am I gonna head out the door? Because I was saying to Anne-Marie, when I was in Haiti in the day after the earthquake, the big earthquake in 2010, you felt aftershocks exactly like that. And you knew, because the buildings there are not sturdy, that you had to get out. And so every time that happened, and that would happen several times throughout the day and night, you'd race for the door and try to get outside, especially, given the destruction that you saw in the actual earthquake. So that was my first thing. I'm like, I'm getting out of here.
No, well, I can imagine if you have actually experienced an earthquake or experienced what you've experienced, this could be very unnerving. For me, it was sort of a curiosity, but I can totally get why, you would be out of the building and I would be still in here looking up at the ceiling, wondering why things are shaking.
Right.
And if I could also mention, just consider is where my thought process goes to now, because this is the most densely populated part of the entire country. We have so many of the world's largest health systems here. If a hospital surgery room, and I'm sure hospitals are fortified against major quakes, but if you're in the middle of a very special sensitive surgery or a medical procedure and the room moves, strongly enough for a lamp to shake, And again, all of us saying our fight and flight jumps in. It was just a bit of a moment that I think we should wait to hear back from hospitals as well and health facilities, just to make sure. It may take time to realize what that jolt really did.
Yeah.
In the short term, it kind of unnerved all of us. Everyone seems fine, but this all just happened, in the past hour?
Yeah. So if you are tuning in and you didn't actually feel it yourself, there was an earthquake here in the Northeast. It was the epicenter was in central New Jersey, which means it was felt in New Jersey, in New York, in Connecticut, in Pennsylvania. It was 4.8 magnitude, which is not something to sneeze at here in the studio. It felt like a low sort of rumble, like a subway train passing by.
But I will say, Errol and Anne-Marie, I'm reading here some of these statements from political leaders across the tri-state area, and I'm reading this one from Governor Phil Murphy, where he says, our region just experienced an earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 4.7 with an epicenter. And at the end, he says, please do not call 911 unless you have an actual emergency. So here in New York, we have 311, right?
Yeah,
and people call
also,
in Philly.
Yeah.
So people call 311 like when they hear a cat who's outside their window. So I can only imagine
311 people want to quit.
Yeah,
right
exactly. 311 people, I feel for them because they're probably fielding a lot of calls. And some, look, if you're not watching the news or you're not watching CBS News Streaming on your apps or wherever you stream your news, you might be wondering what the heck is going on. Your first thought is, let me call 311.
Yeah.
But we should point out that so far, all the statements from Governor Hochul, Governor Shapiro, Governor Murphy, the New York City Mayor's Office, New Jersey Transit, is that while they're assessing, it does not appear that any significant damage has yet occurred, at least as far as the assessment, which is ongoing, is going on. So, folks, if you can, don't call 911, don't call 311, unless you really have an actual emergency, which is the message from our political leaders.
And just sort of remind people that if you are traveling today, though, your travel may be impacted if you're flying out. There had been some ground stoppages at some of the area airports. I think one has been lifted. Not sure about the status of the other one right now, but you may want to just check your emails or check your text messages for updates on your flights. And
so we're going to keep following this. I mean, I think, as I said, ultimately, until we start to hear. Until public officials like the governor, like the mayor, get in front of a camera.
Yeah, the mayor should be in front of a camera in about 30 minutes or so.
Okay, so we're expecting Mayor Adams, New York City Mayor Adams, to at least deliver some remarks on the assessment that is ongoing now due to this 4.8 magnitude earthquake that has hit the Northeast. That a lot of what we're going to be telling our viewers is what happened and getting a reaction from people who may have felt this earthquake.
I would love it, though, if we could find an expert on earthquakes to talk to, because I am really curious about why it is that some people felt it and some people didn't, who were, just feet from each other.
Right. And the other question, of course, is for many people who may not understand that while earthquakes in New York are rare, they are not unprecedented.
Yeah.
What it is about where we are, the actual geological circumstances of New York City, because the notion is always that New York City is on this like solid bedrock, right, that goes all the way down.
Yeah.
Unlike the West Coast, which is on a fault line.
Right.
And so somebody might be wondering, what are the geological circumstances that would lead us to feel an earthquake, given where we're situated?
Yeah, totally.
So, Errol, I don't know if you're still there. We're going to...
Yes, no, I can hear you both. And just, as you guys are mentioning, this just happened.
Yeah.
So we're trying to share what we know in the immediate sense, but it'll be important to hear from the mayor here at noon Eastern. Life appears, I'm out on the streets of Brooklyn, lots of tourists still taking their pictures, cars and vehicles still moving, and I don't hear an overabundance of emergency sirens and signals, which would tell you, wow, there's a lot of emergencies around. I don't hear that. So at least we're reporting and being transparent with viewers in real time that, yes, this happened. Things seem fine now. Let's wait and see what officials say and what hospitals report. I'm just looking at the USGS website. There's a 46% probability of a magnitude 3-point larger aftershock within a week of what we've just experienced. So those are from some of the experts, as you guys discussed the need for experts to chat about this. So yeah, it's good for folks to be alert, to perhaps not do anything sensitive in the next few moments, and we'll share with you what we know in real time.
All right, Errol, that says something if you're not hearing sirens, because you're always hearing sirens in New York.
100%.
It is the symphony of New York.
Gosh, you're right.
All right, Errol, thank you so much.